This is a Preps on the Net Sports Update.
And hi, I'm Kevin J. Week 5 in the books.
Make sure you go to our website each and every week and participate in our poll. You can help decide what game will be the game of the week, the Wisconsin National Guard game of the week. The Ashwaubenon football team is all alone at the top of the Fox River Classic Conference. Ashwaubenon improved to 5-0 overall and 4-0 in the FRCC while handing the Sheboygan South Red Wings their first conference loss last Friday. After a slow first half, it looked as if the Red Wings found their groove in the third quarter and were going to run away with the game as they scored on 2 long TD passes and were on top 21-7. But the final stanza proved to be all Ashwaubenon as the Jaguars came back and scored 3 times to take a 28-21 lead on this 18-yard touchdown run from senior running back Brody Monahan late in the game. It all came down to the last play of the game after the Red Wings started their final drive at their own 21 with 3 minutes and 5 seconds left and no timeouts. Quarterback Ethan Berlin marched south down the field to the Ashwaubenon 11-yard line, but with 14 seconds remaining, instead of going to the end zone with a pass attempt, the Red Wings attempted to score on a run up the middle on 3rd down, but were stopped, giving Ashwaubenon that 28-21 comeback victory. The Rhinelander football team faced undefeated Mosinee Friday night at Mike Webster Stadium. The Indians' fierce running game was showcased as after just 3 carries from Joe Kaler, Mosinee was in the end zone for the first touchdown of the game. But it wasn't just the running game, as the Indians' passing game started to click as quarterback Nate Esther connected with Colton Zamansky on this 8-yard TD pass to the back right corner of the end zone, giving Mosinee a comfortable lead, eventually a 28-6 victory. That keeps them undefeated on the year. The Wausau West football team waited 5 weeks for its first victory of the season, but the Warriors did it with style, taking out the Stevens Point Panthers. The bulk of the scoring came with 4 touchdowns between the 2 teams in the third quarter, 3 of which came in a span of only 11 plays. The defending Wisconsin Valley Conference champions 31-28 Friday night at Tom Field. Well, it was not the homecoming that DC Everest's Evergreens would have preferred. It was dark, cold, and wet, much like much of the state Friday night, as Marshfield came to town for this Wisconsin Valley Conference showdown. DC Everest had its share of opportunities in the first half, grabbing 3 turnovers, but all they could come away with were a pair of field goals. A 22-yarder by Matt Hansen and a 31-yarder from Jacob Daigle. Now, while DC Everest was struggling, Marshfield's Brad Dozel was shining brightly with a pair of long runs to set up both touchdowns. Dozel's 52-yard scamper led to this Elliot Ashbeck 24-yard TD pass to Tyler Robbins, and then he took off on a 37-yard run, which helped set up a 32-yard TD pass from Chris Steeman to Todd Van Tessie. That gave it a 14-6 halftime lead. Marshfield took better care of the ball in the second half, and their defense held Everest in check, while the Tigers added a pair of scores, with Dozel taking it in from 3 yards out, and this 2-yard scamper by Van Tessie making the final score 28-6.
Make sure you join us on the front page of Preps on the Net and vote for the game of the week. And also be looking back later this week to see where we'll be as we cover more action around the state.
It was Escanaba, Michigan traveling to Minocqua as the Lakeland Thunderbirds played host to Escanama's Eskimos Friday night. With a team named like the Eskimos, you would think Escanaba would be right at home in the wet, cold weather that prevailed during the game, but that was not to be. Both teams started out the half slowly until both offenses got warmed up in the second half, with the Thunderbirds pulling their first mark in the win column this year, winning 20-14. Weather, turnovers, and frustration were the 3 ingredients that led to a 4 overtime victory for the Tomahawk Hatchets football team Friday night. The weather didn't help the Ashland or Dockers as they fumbled 9 times. Tomahawk was frustrated till the very end of the game by not turning any of those turnovers into points, gaining only 146 yards of total offense. Finally, at the end of the 4th overtime, Tomahawk's Adam Fowl took it in for a score to give the Hatchets a 6-0 victory. Now let's take you to Rocky Bleier Field. It was Appleton's Xavier hosting Little Chute. A low-scoring first half left Xavier leading 3-0. And then let's go right to the third when Xavier's fullback Jimmy Schmidt scored on a 64-yard touchdown run on the Hawks' second offensive series in the half. That made Xavier 10-0 leaders. In the fourth quarter, it was a 41-yard run from Jake Little, leading to a 2-yard TD run by Grant Thayer, the quarterback. That gave X a 17-0 lead. Little Chute would not be shut out, though, as Jared Zach scored on a 50-yard pass play from quarterback David Shep. The scoring ended when Xavier's Grant Thayer hit Ben Johnson on a 6-yard pass play, and with the PAT, Xavier goes on to win, remaining undefeated. The final, 24-7.
I'm Kevin J. Atto for Preps on the Net.
This is a Preps on the Net Sports Update.